What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get up-to-date content when I post. If y'all can hear my air conditioning, please forgive me. I've got it running, and I hope it's not affecting the sound or anything. But let's go ahead and get into this episode. Season 1, Episode 2, Bobby, I Love You, Purr. First of all, Zeus Network, you have redeemed yourself, okay? Let me say that. I got a smile on my face because I was thoroughly entertained by this episode. Episode 1 and 2. So far, 10s across the board. I've really enjoyed the show. It's giving me Bad Girls Club. It's giving me Love and Hip Hop. It's giving me Flavor of Love. It's giving me all these great reality shows mixed in one. And I'm like over here salivating. I wish I had the whole season ready to watch now. Also, Natalie, take notes. This is how you produce and do a show, okay? Let's go ahead and start where last week's episode picked up from, which was Andre coming back into the picture, which is Bobby's ex-boyfriend. I don't think they ever dated. I think they just had a fling, but the show is like making us think they dated in order for it to make sense to bring Andre back into the fold. And Daddy's home. I'm glad to see Andre. As I told y'all last season, he's fine, and I think he's gonna have these other boys shook and intimidated a little bit, as we see coming up in the episode. He walks in there, and if it was me, if I was Bobby, show's over. Show's fucking over. Andre's probably the finest one in the house to me. Besides, there's gonna be one or two more. We'll get into that. But I would have been like, Daddy's home. Y'all gotta go. We going up into my mansion here in Miami, and we got some business to take care of. But we know we can't do that, right? So where am I at? Oh, Andre. The show mentions, if y'all didn't know, and I think I said last week's episode, just for context, he was linked famously to Jeffree Star, as we've seen, which that actually comes into play a little bit more in the episode, and we'll talk about that, how that creates conflict. And so the boys are all outside. They still haven't even gotten in the house yet because there was so much bullshit that was going on. And all of a sudden, Roland Ray is like, it smells like fish out here. And Dimitri gonna say it's one of their foreskins. Somebody didn't wash their foreskin today. And I'm like, like what? It was funny, don't get me wrong. It was funny, yes. I will give the Dimitri squad out there, I'll give y'all that. But I'm like, how do you know what nasty, dirty foreskins smell like? Because let me tell y'all, I've been with the men I've been with who have been uncircumcised, they've been clean. So I don't know what a dirty foreskin smells like. I, fortunately, thank you, mother, I've been circumcised. I'm not foreskin shaming anybody out there, because I think it's hot when a guy is not circumcised. That's just me. But apparently dirty foreskin smells like fish. We learned that from Dimitri in this episode with your nasty ass. So they are in Miami though. So I was thinking maybe you smell fish because the mansion y'all are in is near water. So I'm pretty sure it's like on an island. It could be one of those homes on Star Island, or it could be a home by like a bay or something. They're near water. That's probably why y'all smell fish. Obviously, you hoes have never really traveled before or been around a body of water, because it's normal. You smell fish. Is that just me? Does anybody else think that? Because I mean, I don't know. And then Bobby starts. He lets the boys into the house. They all run in, and he says he's going to assign the rooms, which I thought was actually a good idea. If it was me, I would have assigned the rooms probably too, because you know how it is when people who ain't motherfuckers act like they never been nowhere before. They go, especially on these reality shows, they go in and they fight over which room's the best. And I'm just not fighting over where I lay my head at. So I would have appreciated that he assigned everybody rooms if I were there, because I would be like, good, now I ain't got to fight a bitch over a pillow and a blanket and a mattress. So he puts 2 boys per room, and I'm like, now Bobby, you got a bunch of gay men. It's one thing, got a bunch of gay men living together, but now you pairing them up in rooms together. You know these boys is gonna be bumping the bones at night. We know. I mean, come on now, my boys out there, my gay men watching. Y'all already know. Bobby puts Dimitri and the buff looking dude who I never got his name throughout the episode, but he's the buff one. He's really attractive. He kind of has like a Drake look to him, but he's cuter than Drake, in my opinion. So he puts them in the same room, and Dimitri's like, oh, he's so fit. And even Bobby caught that and was like, what do you mean? Like, he's so fit. And Dimitri had to run it back and try to do damage control. But I'm like, how, like, this boy obviously doesn't think before he speaks, because why would you even say some shit like that? Like, y'all, he's putting you in a room with this dude, and you're talking about you over here side flirting with him in front of everybody. These hoes was gonna be lurking and slurping and doing the most. So now listen, I'm 6'2". I normally don't like. Not that I don't find shorter men cute. I definitely find shorter men cute, but I usually don't go after them because there's such a tight difference. But Crush, to me, is so cute. He's a little Hispanic dude who later on gets thrown in the pool. And we're going to get into him because, Crush, you're too cute to be acting the way that you acted in this episode. And we'll get more into that. But, let's see. Dude that roomed with Ike. Yeah, I don't know his name. Ike's the one with the long, he has the braids, he sings, and he brought Bobby the flowers. And the dude that roomed with him, he was like, we ain't got a TV, we ain't got a bathroom, we ain't got nothing. What am I going to do, sit up and look at Ike all damn day long? Hey, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Ike is cute to me. And like I said last week, if any of you watch Chasing Atlanta, Ike is on there, and he's a really good dude. Really, like, if Bobby chose any of these dudes, Ike would be in like the top 5 because he's actually got a pure heart, and I don't think he's there. Of course, he's probably there for the platform, of course, but I don't think he's got ill intentions, like, or he's a slut bucket or anything like that, like some of these dudes are. Tony, who's in the wheelchair, he's the other guy besides Roland Ray. Because we got Roland Ray who's in the wheelchair, and we have Tony who's in the wheelchair. Roland Ray's obviously not there to fight for Bobby's love, but Tony is. And he has his friend there with him, which I thought was pretty cool, because I saw Tony and this guy, because Tony gets his own room, and I seen this guy in there with Tony, and at first I was like, who is that guy? I don't remember seeing him a part of the cast. Come to find out, he is Tony's friend, and he's there to assist him, which I thought was great on Zeus's behalf. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, they probably had to. They couldn't just not say, hey, you can't bring anybody with you at all. You know, he has to have somebody there to help assist him. You know, any things that we're able to do with our legs, Tony can't do. So having someone there, it's great on his behalf. We're going to get more into Tony as well just in a second. Because I'm Team Tony in a minute. I'll tell y'all why. But Bobby then takes Andre, which is his ex we were talking about, and he doesn't have a room for Andre. He says, no, I'm putting you on the couch. You're in the doghouse. You don't get a room. You're not rooming with me. Now, let's just cut the shit. If the cameras weren't there, Bobby would have Andre up in his room every night. But he's got to, you know how it is. He's got to make it known the cameras are there. He's got to look like, look, I'm not fucking with you. But let's be real, Bobby. You know you'd have Andre all up in that room and all up in them guts if them cameras were not there. Okay, and I'm sure he was, even when the cameras went home at night. I don't know. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when them cameras were gone. Zeus, we need an unaired episode. Give us an episode at the end of this season with footage that we didn't get to see, because I know y'all got a lot of it. Big dude, Perry, he said in one moment exactly what I was thinking. I don't know how Dimitri got up. Oh, they were talking about Dimitri because Bobby was telling him, like, you know, I'm going to let you stay even though you run your mouth a lot, yada, yada, yada. And Perry says exactly what I was thinking. Perry said, I don't think Dimitri was being bullied. Dimitri set the tone from the moment he got here when he was running his mouth and he was popping off and doing all that sassy shit. Then when Dimitri gets attacked, he's the victim. I see it the other way around. I know a lot of people are Team Dimitri and they like him. And yes, he does have some funny moments. But if you're going to run your mouth like that, if you're going to do all that, it's given Dylan from Bad Boys LA. Like, just stop, Dimitri. So the scene with Dimitri, Perry, and then the buffer guy. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. The one I said that kind of has the Drake looking features. They're all together, and this scene sort of had me dying. Um, it had me dying. They were just talking a lot of shit. But was it me, or was dude flirting with Dimitri in that scene? The buff guy sitting there, and he's like, he did something to Dimitri's shoulder at one time, and then he lays his feet up on Dimitri's lap and lays there and says, "Oh, suck my toes," or some shit like that. And Perry peeped game too. Perry was like, "I can't believe these motherfuckers are doing this right now." And I was thinking that too. I'm like, okay, and y'all are rooming together. Dimitri and that one dude who's flirting with him are rooming together. I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay, so 4 of the boys are sitting outside talking, and the Drake-looking boy that I was just talking about, who's swole, he's out there too. He's talking about Andre, how he met Andre in Vegas, and Andre was boasting about his money and jets, and he got 18,000 subscribers on OnlyFans, and he does this and he does that. So I guess he's met Andre before. Got a lot of people. I think a lot of people have preconceived notions of Andre because they've either met him or they know of him because of his past with Jeffree Star and being in the public eye. So he's a big threat at this point coming into the house. Bakari says that he feels like, and Bakari's the one with the tattoos all over his face and the dreads. He said, I feel like I was the first ever straight porn star to fuck a trans girl. And I'm like, skirt. Pause. Rewind. Back it up a little bit for me. Let's break that down. You were the first ever straight porn star to fuck a trans girl. Wrong. I'm sure there's been other actual straight porn stars who have fucked fucked trans girls. So you fall out of that category because you're not straight, Bakari. And I like Bakari, don't get me wrong. He shows a different side of himself later on in this episode. But don't get me wrong, Bakari, you keep throwing out this straight card. One, I think you have a problem with being gay. In a way, it probably bothers you. So always throwing out straight helps mask that for you. But 2, you're all over Twitter getting your pussy creamed with your legs wide open in the air. So you are not so straight, sir, and that's okay. We're not shaming over here. This episode was all about bottom shaming. We ain't bottom shaming over here on Damien After Dark, okay? But let's get this shit straight. Stop being ashamed of who you are, Bakari. Stop saying straight, because it makes you look foolish when you do that. When we the people know you busting that pussy wide open all over Twitter. So stop. That's the second time he said that, and I feel like every episode he's gonna have to throw out the straight card. You're not straight, Bakari. Then here comes Dimitri. Lord, here brings Dimitri. Like, if I was you and I was hated this bad, I would go sit in a corner somewhere until things just died down. But here comes Dimitri, strutting out there looking a hot fucking mess. He looks like he's 40 fucking years old. He's out here talking about how he's claiming he whooped dude's ass in the fight the episode before. He was like, he had bloody knees, he fucked his elbows up, I whooped his ass, I did this. I'm like, did we see the same thing? You didn't fuck nobody up. And fighting like this you're not going to get anywhere with that. Here's where more clues come in for me that Dimitri and his roommate are feeling each other. Dude, his roommate says, Dimitri, you have started some shit, but at the same time you held your own, and I don't have no problem with you. You know what, Dimitri? I'll inherit all your problems coming forward. Who the fuck says that, bitch? Are you not here for Bobby, as they all say? You're not here for Bobby at this point. You should be inheriting Bobby's problems. Why are you trying to inherit Dimitri's problems? The one boy in the house who is a hot fucking mess, a sloppy ass hot mess. You talking about I'll inherit your problems. We noticed you'll inherit his problems. You was over there rubbing on his shoulder. You propped your legs up on him. Y'all rooming together. That's another clue for me. Is it just me? Y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all think there's something more going on with Dimitri and Drake? Just want to know. So Crush, Andre, the white boy who wears too much makeup in his confessionals, the boy with the long brown curly hair who's tall, him, a few of them are around the pool, they're talking, they're chilling. And then here comes Jameson the Jamaican. Y'all know who Jameson the Jamaican is. He's a really, really pretty guy. He's so beautiful. And he says, he brings up that Andre is back with Jeffree Star. And it's like, oh God, here we go. He says, why are you here? Why are you here? You're still fucking Jeffree Star. Okay. Crush. So Jameson starts it off with Andre, but then it goes to Crush. The Crush is the short curly haired Hispanic or Latino short looking dude. He's one I said earlier that was really cute. Please tell me you ain't one of them, Crush. Please tell me you ain't one of them. So, oh boy, I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. He calls out Crush and says, a little birdie told me that you was on Jack this morning. And then and Crush, you gave it away that you were guilty because you just wouldn't shut up. There is no little birdie. There is no little birdie. Like, Crush was on 10 when this got brought up. So he's accused of being on Jack the same morning that they're filming this scene by the pool. A little birdie told me. Who was the little birdie? That's what I want to know. Because the white boy who wears too much makeup in his confessionals, he said exactly what I was thinking. Okay, Crush was on Jack this morning, but wait a goddamn minute. How did you know Crush was on Jack this morning? Who is this little birdie? Now you don't want to tell it. Who is the little birdie? Because now I'm trying to figure out. There's two snakes. Two of y'all. This goes to show me that y'all flew in Miami. Y'all ain't been here 2 fucking days. Y'all been in this house 2 days. And you already on Jack talking to other men. And it gave me flashbacks to my ex. When my ex flew from Florida up here to be with me. He wasn't here for a few days. And I'm at work. And I peeped game. I had a suspicion that my boyfriend at the time, I was like, he just gives me dog hoe vibes. Let me go on Jacked and Grindr and make sure he's not on there. So I pull up Jack and Grindr and I look. There he is. Lo and behold, there the fuck he is. Now, Crush, you're doing the same thing. Why would you be so dumb to do that? Now, here's another reason I think Crush gave it away that he was on there. Immediately he admits it by saying, I was looking for weed. He kept saying, I was looking for weed. I'm like, no, Crush, why did you say that? Listen, a wise woman once told me, self never tell on self. Crush, if you did it, you should have denied that shit to the goddamn brim. I don't know where that screenshot came from. You made it up on one of them damn editing apps. I ain't been on no goddamn Jack. Nope, wasn't me. I don't care. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, Crush. You hear me? That's what you say. It wasn't me. You saying I was looking for weed? Let's say you were really looking for weed. Let's just say you really were, because it's kind of believable. You're in a city you're not from. You saying you were looking for weed still makes you look guilty, even if you were. You still don't need to be on Jack looking for weed. No. And let me give you a little bit of a tip, little advice for all y'all out there. When you go to a town and there is no legal weed, and maybe you've flown there, but it's illegal in that state, go to Twitter, type in the search bar, weed, and then type in the name of that city, weed, Miami, and it'll pull up tweets with people who actually are trying to get rid of some weed. Just put you on game there. That's what I've done in the past, and it always works for me. You just got to be careful, kind of vet your people, Google their names, make sure they ain't got no murder warrants for them, look them, that kind of thing. Common sense shit. So then another one of the girls throws Crush under the bus again and says, you was also hitting on Andre. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I wasn't hitting on Andre. And Andre's like, yeah, you were. You looked at me and said, if you need a cuddle buddy, I'm the cuddle buddy. Now, Crush, I know Andre's cute and all. I know. But here's more hoe evidence. More evidence of you being a little hoe. You on this show, supposedly for Bobby Light, but you own Jacked. looking for Miami dick. You flirting with Andre because he's a tall, sexy basketball player that's there. So you're trying to cuddle up with him. Like, come on, Crush. You look real bad in this episode right now. You look real bad in this episode. And I thought you're still cute. You're still cute, but I wouldn't date you for nothing in the world. You one of them that would crush somebody. You would break somebody's heart. Okay. Oh. Reason number 3, I know Crush was lying. He starts telling Andre, "You're a fucking plant. You're a fucking plant." Like, why? Like, what? You're admitting to getting caught. You're saying he's a plant to what? Try to come in there and catch y'all? To catch you? To fuck you up and catch you when you're doing some slick shit? Maybe he is a plant. I kind of starting to believe it now that I think about it. I think Andre was probably given more money than the other boys, and he's just there to kind of stir up shit, because at the end of the day, him and Bobby are going to always be connected. They're always probably going to fuck around, or they're always going to be friends. I don't think he's actually there to try to win Bobby back. Come on now. They're all going at Crush at this point. Well, not everybody at least, but Jameson the most is going at Crush and saying, you know, "You're a hoe, you're selling pussy for free all over Jacked." And I'm like, who? Not selling pussy, child. Selling pussy for $20 for weed all over Jacked. And I'm like, oh my God. And Crush, you were just, like I said, he's showing his true colors. Crush is to me at this point, and he's acting extra dramatic, over dramatic, just doing all this, like, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, at one point, what was he saying? He was doing all this extra shit, like, power bottom, extra bottom, you're a bottom, and he was trying to do these little dances, and I'm like, wait a minute. Crush is trying to take the bad girl blueprint, and he's trying to have a moment. I get you want to defend yourself from Jameson because he's coming at you right now, but doing all the, like, you're not Erica from BGC. I don't understand. You know, I really thought he was trying to take that bad girl blueprint for that moment, and he was just trying to get a moment in front of the cameras, which we all saw how that backfired. And Jameson and Crush are over here bottom shaming. Y'all are over here bottom shaming. At one point, Jameson tells him, "You're the biggest bottom I ever seen, bro." And that's when Crush starts saying, "Mega bottom, power bottom, you're queen bottom," all this shit. I'm like, why are we bottom shaming over here? Every one of y'all have took dick before. Like, the fuck? Let's be real here. Come on now. And the tallest bottom he's ever seen. Yeah. I thought he was talking to Andre at first, but apparently he was talking to Crush. Shit, and I'm 6'2". Ain't no shame in my game. I'm not no full-fledged bottom, as they call it, but I like the D. Who don't? Hell, I'll give it to you, lick it to you, stick it to you, whichever way you want it. I can give it to you that way. But why y'all shaming one another for? I hate when people in the gay community do that. Like, they act like being a bottom is a bad thing or a sissy thing. Hell, every single one of y'all in that house that probably took a dick. Let's just be real here. So Jameson and Crush are going back and forth, and all of a sudden, doosh, slam dunk. He picks Crush up by the shirt and then the arm and dunks him over into the pool. Well, actually, it was the shirt. Oh boy, in his confessional said it was the arm, but if you actually watch the scene, he grabs him by the shirt and then pulls him over into the pool. And can I be real for a minute? If I was on this show, the dude who was over there in the pool, or he was on the pool steps rolling a blunt, dude with the long curly brown hair, that would have been me. They could have been there screaming and hollering at each other all day. I'm just trying to roll this blunt real quick. We in Miami, we by the pool, like. But Crush, I gotta be real. I gotta be real here. He got you, babe. He got you. He got you. He got you. This will go down as one of the best moments of the season, because I mean, you sounded like my little chihuahua over here asleep. He shut your ass up real quick. Dunked his ass in the pool. He ate that shit up. He said, "You wanted your camera time? I gave you your fucking camera time, bitch." That's exactly what he said. I'm living for it. I'm living over here. I'm like, y'all should. I need the camera. I need to start putting the camera on me when I'm watching this, like my reaction to this shit. 'Cause I'm like, oh. I was literally like, oh. it's giving. It's giving everything it needs to be gave. Okay, back in the house, Tony tells Bakari that he feels disrespected because he's in this wheelchair and all these guys are just fighting over him. They're falling over him. They're disrespecting him, and he's over it. And obviously, Tony's a little drunk. He's sitting there talking to Bakari. Him and Bakari are going back and forth, and he's expressing his frustrations to him about how all these guys have just been so rude to him in this house and how they treated him like shit. Which we have witnessed that. It seems like they have disregarded him a little bit. And Bakari's actually, this is when I said we see a different side of Bakari. I thought it was really sweet that he was being a good friend to Tony. And, you know, he was telling him, you know, it's going to be okay. Hold your head up. You're going to get through this. At one point, Tony's like, I can't even get up these fucking stairs. Look at this huge grand staircase. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't even get up the stairs. They don't even consider these types of things. And Bakari was just being a cool soul. Like, he got points for me in my book. Even though he's constantly claiming he's straight, I think he has a good heart and soul. And he was doing the right thing by consoling Tony. So let me see here. So Jameson, back to him. Him and Andre are out by the pool, of course. Now they're arguing. This was after Crush got dunked. They're still arguing a bit. And, you know, Jameson is really so attractive. Like, he is gorgeous. And I ain't gonna lie, when he threw Crush in that pool, I was kind of like, whew, it turned me on a little bit. I got hard for a second. But if I'm gonna be real here, his personality can sometimes overshadow his really good looks. Because, yes, you dunked dude in the pool. I get it. Y'all are going at it. You did your big one. Congratulations. It was great TV. But at the end of the day, you should have left it at that. Left it alone. Because after you dunked Crush, you can tell Crush kind of fell back a little bit. It kind of scared him. You can tell he did. And if you go back and rewind it, when he grabbed him by the shirt and dunked him, before he dunked him, he was like, hey, you know. So now Crush gets out the pool, and you can tell he's back down a little bit. Like, he don't want the smoke. He don't want the smoke. But Jameson just keeps going and going, and as one of the guys said, Andre said it felt like bullying to him, which is why Andre stepped in and started going at Jameson. And Jameson says in his confessional that he knows that Andre is a pussy because he was fucking a white bitch. And if you're fucking a white bitch, that means you don't want black pussy. And therefore that makes Andre weak. Where is the logic in that, Jameson? Like, Jameson, you're a really attractive guy, but you're starting to open your mouth and sound like a fucking idiot. I get that Andre dating Jeffree Star was, what's the word I'm looking for? It was, you know, a mess. It was all over the place. It was chaos. I get that, and it wasn't a good look for him. But that doesn't mean he's a pussy because he fucks with white people. He fucks with both races. Like, where is the logic that if a black person fucks with a white person, that they don't like their own race? Like, you can't ever win. You can't ever win you can't win. With a lot of people, and I think it's just fucked up. But I think you should be able to love who you want. Interracially, no matter what your sexual orientation is, if you're a man, you want to like men, love it. If you're a black woman and you want a white man, go for it. If that's what makes you fucking happy. If you're a white woman and you want a black man, go for it. If you're a woman and you want to eat pussy, eat the pussy. Why do we care so much about what people do with their fucking interpersonal lives? Jameson. So Tony is drunk. Back in the house, Tony is obviously very drunk. And his emotions about being in this wheelchair and being disrespected are really coming out. And I'm feeling for him at this point. We don't know what that shit feels like. That has to be awful to not be able to walk. And you feel like people are running over you and disrespecting you. It's like, what the fuck? So he's rolling himself into the kitchen and he sees... Oh, see, that felt like that sounded disrespectful. I didn't mean it to. And I said he's rolling himself to the kitchen. I did not mean that derogatory at all. He goes into the kitchen And he starts going off on Dimitri because Dimitri was one in the last episode who kicked at him. And he tells Dimitri, you know what? If you ever fucking disrespect me again, I'm gonna knock your fucking head off. And all of a sudden, Dimitri just starts slinging food like the little punk ass, no good pig bitch that he is. I'm like, this boy is low. You are low. You go after this boy because you know he's in a wheelchair and you feel like it's a weak target. Now, some would say Tony started it first because he went in there and went at Dimitri. No, Tony's finishing what Dimitri started yesterday in the last episode when he kicked at his ass. Tony's just telling him, don't you ever fucking disrespect me again. And instead of Dimitri using his words and arguing back with him, you start slinging shit. Now, this is the point of when we go into the next episode. It says next time on. But did y'all see, if y'all remember, Tony slings that liquor bottle at him. And I hope it busts your head wide open, Dimitri. Because all you do is run that fucking trout mouth of yours. And I'm sick of Dimitri at this point. A lot of y'all think he's entertaining. Like I said, he does have funny moments. But he's giving bully. He's giving insecure as fuck. Like, I hope they fuck him up. And I'm sorry. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. This is a review. You want my review of it? I hope Dimitri gets his ass fucked up the way he's acted, okay? So that's the end of the episode, and we still did not find out how old girl got them screenshots from Jack. Because I'm starting to think the boy who exposed Crush for being on Jack, I'm starting to think he was on Jack all along, and he found that. That's why he was saying, a little birdie told me. You didn't want to say who really told you. Maybe I'm sure we'll find out later in the season how the dude got the pictures of Crush being on Jacked. Next week's episode looks even crazier. I'm excited for it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this review. Please let me know what your thoughts were on this episode in the comments below. Also, whose side are you on when it comes to Dimitri and Tony? That fight there at the end, whose side are you on there? Let me know your thoughts below. Who is your favorite so far in the house 2 episodes in? Who do you think needs to go first? Comment below. I want to hear all your thoughts. I love y'all so much for watching, and stay tuned for that Baddies review. I'm about to record that next. I gotta watch the episode, take some notes. We'll see you next time.